Tonight on NBC 10 News at 6, casting your vote and tracking the storm. As America heads to the polls, the candidates crisscross the country as we enter the home stretch in the race to the White House. We have live team coverage of Decision 2012, but first, we're tracking a strong weather system swirling toward our already storm-ravaged region, and this one could bring snow. And good evening, everyone. I'm Tim Lake.
And I'm Renee Chenault-Fatah. Coastal flood and wind warnings are already in effect along the Jersey Shore as well as Delaware beaches. It is the area, of course, hardest hit by Hurricane Sandy. And tonight, residents there are bracing for more destructive weather as well as now our first chance for snow.
We have NBC 10 live team coverage as we track this storm. NBC 10's Chris Cato is standing by in Atlantic County where residents are bracing for another strong storm. But first, let's get the latest now from NBC 10 Chief Meteorologist Glenn Hurricane Schwartz. Glenn?
Yeah.
Glenn, well, this certainly spells bad news for residents down the shore. Still cleaning up from Hurricane Sandy. This pending nor'easter is the last thing that residents need. We begin tonight in Longport, Atlantic County, and that's where NBC 10's Chris Cato joins us live. Chris, what are residents saying now about this pending storm? And now Decision 2012. After a marathon campaign of speeches, promises, and television attacks, today it's your turn to decide. Voters flock to the polls to choose the next presidents. And Americans are deciding today whether President Obama or Mitt Romney will be spending the next 4 years in the White House.
This election day now.
NBC 10's Harry Hairston is live now at the Committee of 70 headquarters. And Harry, there's a problem right now with some provisional ballots as well? In Decision 2012 now, NBC 10 reporters have fanned out across our area to cover every aspect of this election. Now tonight, we are closely monitoring elections in New Jersey, Delaware, and in Pennsylvania. Democrat George Beatty is challenging Republican Congressman Pat Meehan for a seat in Pennsylvania's 7th District. Voters in Delaware have a lot of big decisions to make this election day as well. Voters in Greenville headed to the polls this morning. Now, besides the race for president, voters in the first state also cast ballots to fill seats in the Senate and in the House. They're also voting for governor in Delaware. The incumbent, Jack Markell, is opposed this time by Republican Jeff Cragg, a small business owner from the city of Wilmington. And if you have not voted yet, there are still some time for you tonight. The polls in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware are open until 8 o'clock tonight.
Now to our other big story here. Strong winds, heavy rain, coastal flooding, and our first snow of the season. We could see it all over just the next 24 hours.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun night. And tomorrow, NBC 10 Chief Meteorologist Glenn Hurricane Schwartz is tracking this storm tonight. And Glenn, when are we going to see and start to feel the first effects of this system?
Well, we'll see some.
We have more on Decision 2012 now. Here's another look at NBC's Democracy Plaza at Rockefeller Center in New York. Now, Democracy Plaza serves as the backdrop for Decision 2012 election coverage. Thousands of people are expected to be gathering right here to watch the live coverage of the results throughout tonight. And remember, NBC 10 is the place to watch Decision 2012 election results.
Of hours.
Yeah, that's it. As you saw there a second ago, here is NBC 10 Chief Meteorologist Glenn Hurricane Schwartz with one last check on the weather. Glenn?
Yeah, there's going to be different prelims, so in a way it could help prevent more power outages.
Let's hope so.
Well, I hope it goes easy on us. Thank you, Glenn. And now for all of us here at NBC 10, I'm Tim Lake.
I'm Renee Chenault-Fatah. Our coverage of Decision 2012 continues now with a special election night edition of NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.